BlackRock, Larry Fink, Ripple, XRP, tokenization of assets. We are going to get into this video what all of this means, how much value is actually in the world that can be tokenized, brought onto the ledger. And this is really where I believe a high price for XRP could come in down the line. I'm going to lay it all out for you in this video. We're going to talk about it. And it's a great subject, right? Because it's really good to understand this. It won't be retail. It won't be me and you pumping the price of XRP. It will be tokenization of assets. So let's get into this. ISO put this out. It says number 5 tokenization highlights this week in review. So this week has had a ton of partnerships. So Axelar, Ondo, ZoniQX, HSBC, Goldman Sachs. These are all big players in the tokenization market, and Ripple is partnered with a lot of these strategic partnerships, right? So HSBC, Axelar, ZoniQX, right? There's a lot of potential massive amounts of liquidity and partnerships and tokenization that can be brought onto the ledger. So let me show you this. BlackRock, real world assets, tokenization, the rise of innovators like ZoniQX. All right. And so ZoniQX and Ripple partner to bring multi-asset tokenization onto the XRP ledger, right? This is exciting. This is where real value comes from. And this is actually from February 23rd of this year. And it says ZoniQX, formerly known as Tassets, a pioneer in digital asset management, announced today its partnership with Ripple, an enterprise blockchain and crypto solutions provider. This strategic collaboration harnesses the robust scalability and infrastructure of the XRP ledger and seamlessly integrates it with ZoniQX's cutting-edge tokenization platform as a service. Excuse me. TPaaS and tokenization lifecycle management, also known as TOM solutions. Tokenization improves access to asset classes by reducing traditional barriers to entry, lowering costs, and eliminating geographical boundaries. And if we look at this really quickly, Singapore tokenizations of investment funds is under pilots and will soon become a real global layer 1 solution. Singapore's Project Guardian public blockchain trials, 96% of APAC asset managers intend to have tokenization offerings within the next 3 years. Okay. And he links XRP here. And here's a great clip, right? So when you're talking about the tokenization of assets, there's a few key players that are involved in this, and Chainlink is one of those key players. Let me play this clip for you.
Adoption we've been talking about for years is going to come from tokenized assets. Right now, our industry, from my point of view, has been a POC for something.
POC is proof of concept, okay?
Much greater. And this much greater thing has been tokenizing everything on chain, putting all the world's value on blockchain, because blockchain is better. Blockchain is ownership, it's just decentralization, it's transparency. When you have a financial system built on top of blockchain, it's a fairer, better, more global ecosystem. The way we get there is with tokenizing everything. Real estate, gold, FX. That's really why I'm so excited. It's because everything we've been working towards for the last 7 years in this ecosystem has been leading up to tokenization and tokenizing the world on chain.
Okay, so like how much value is actually, right? So this is 2022. Don't beat me up, okay? It actually has Sam Bankman-Fried on here, which is kind of cringe, but 1 square here equals 100 billion, right? And this keeps getting updated. I hopefully we'll see the 2023 version here soon, but just imagine one of these little squares is $100 billion, okay? And so let's take a look at this together. So when you're talking about sports teams, right? Imagine the value of that sports team being tokenized and shares of that sport team actually being sold or owned by owners, right? That value would move on onto a certain ledger like XRP Ledger. Imagine all of the sports stadiums, the teams, how much value that is, right? All of it combined being put onto like the XRP Ledger, right? Hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe even trillions of dollars in value coming onto Ledger just from sports teams, right? You look at military spending, right? They can tokenize those types of assets, move that onto blockchain. This is the currency, right? This is how much currency is actually in these countries. So it's the US, Euro area, China, Japan, and others. Of course, they're already starting to tokenize gold. You're seeing that now pop up. World's billionaires, right? Imagine all of their money, right? Digital currency being brought onto the ledgers, right? This could be trillions of dollars added to the XRP ledger. Central bank balance sheets, right? All of these reserves can be tokenized, will be tokenized, and brought onto certain ledgers, right? I would imagine that if a central bank is using the XRP ledger, private ledger, to do their central bank digital currency, they're going to digitize that currency and bring it onto the ledger, and that's where it's going to live, right? That's trillions and trillions of dollars. You talk about the stock market, right? Here's the S&P of November 20th, 2022, right? Trillions, right? 30, 40, 50, right? $100 trillion in some of these markets. can be brought onto the ledger. And the reason they would do this is so when you transact and you sell or you buy or you move this value, it moves instantly, right? You're still going to have the stock certificates that you can print out or get mailed to you that your broker is going to hold on to, that you can put up on the wall, right? But moving that value at the speed of light is really what is exciting to me. And that is really what the use case is where I see this value coming from. Here's US and China GDP, right? A global money supply. Look at all of this money, right? These little squares are $100 billion each, right? So this is trillions of dollars. Tokenized, brought onto the ledger. Stock markets, NASDAQ, NYSE, Shanghai, Euronext, right? All of these different countries have their own financial markets, derivatives markets, stock, bond, real estate. It's so much value. You're talking about hundreds of trillions of dollars. There's $300 trillion in global debt. There's about $350 trillion in global real estate, right? So what happens if you start bringing, hundreds of trillions of dollars onto the XRP ledger? Well, that's how you get to $5,000, or you see, me posting about $10,000 XRP. That's how that would happen, right? Not going to be from speculators. Here's global debt. There you go. Governments, right? You can bring all this value onto private ledgers, financial sector. And then here's just regular households. Me and you, right? We don't probably fit one of these squares, but hopefully one day we'll be equal to one of these squares. Like this will be Sensei Square, and this one will be you and your family, hopefully. And then you get like global real estate, like we talked about. Look how much money is in there. Just a ton of value. Agriculture, commercial, right? Things we don't even really think about are going to be tokenized and brought onto the ledger. Global wealth, North America. Here's Europe. Here's China in pink here, purple. And then Asia Pacific, here's India, Latin America, Africa, and then the derivatives market, right? And I've already played clips in past videos where we know the derivatives market is moving to blockchain. Okay. Now, when you're talking about how much money moves through the derivatives market, on a good day, it could be anywhere from $2 to $5 trillion a day gets settled in the derivatives market. And this is the public derivatives market. There's also a private derivatives market that we actually don't know how much value is actually in that market, right? So you're talking about a quadrillion dollars in value in just the public market, not the private market. It's pretty insane. Notional value here, it's just insane how much value is actually out into the world, right? And this is ZoniQX's website, generate liquidity, tokenize alternative assets. BlackRock launches synthetic global ETF, and they're doing some things with Ethereum. But at the end of the day, Ethereum's expensive. You don't know where gas fees are going. I don't think Ethereum is the right solution or answer. Yes, it has a lot of liquidity, and this is what BlackRock is interested in. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't solve a lot of issues. Excuse me. So Larry Fink has been going and doing his rounds and talking about the future of tokenized markets. And I have two clips here. You've seen this clip probably before, but I'm going to put it all in together and give you the context surrounding tokenized assets.
Bitcoin. We believe ETFs are a technology no different than Bitcoin was a technology for asset storage. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification.
It'll be on one general ledger. Now, if you're just looking at the top, 10 or 15 tokens, right? We know Bitcoin is a store of value, but it's not really there for tokenized assets. Ethereum, it can be looked at like this is a lot of liquidity, right? And this is what like Larry Fink and BlackRock are looking at. But there are some downfalls to using Ethereum, which I went over just briefly before. BNB, they just got sued by the US government. They're probably not going to be using Binance to tokenize real estate or stock or bond markets, right? That's probably not the use case there. Okay. Of course, Solana, great for meme coins, but I haven't heard any really big value being tokenized and brought onto the Solana ecosystem. And of course, there's XRP, right? This has been around for 10 to 12 years. This has been tested by central banks everywhere. You have the POW stablecoin on the public XRP ledger. This is working. And it's less than a penny to send a payment, right? You can send $50 million for a penny, anywhere in the world in seconds. That is the use case. That is the biggest use case in crypto. It doesn't matter if it's gaming or AI or DePIN. Being able to send payments for less than a penny is still the biggest use case, and it always will be in crypto. And Ripple and XRP have solved that, right? Ripple is the company that has built their banking technology on top of the XRP ledger, right? Ripple was the stewardship of the XRP ledger for a long time, and since they have backed off. But even if you look at like Dogecoin, stop it. Cardano, no. AVAX, no, right? They're really like what could be used here, right? You know, Chainlink is going to have some big involvement, but out of the top, 15 or 20 tokens, it's really XRP is the king, right? And then here you also have Larry Fink talking on a different forum about the future and the next generation markets.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now.
Bond market.
I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Okay. And you got to imagine that this is tens of thousands of transactions a day, right? Maybe even hundreds of thousands of transactions a day, right? You need something that is cheap, fast, that can handle the volume of transactions and that can handle all of that liquidity. And the XRP Ledger is primed to do all of that and more. And that is why I hold XRP. BlackRock creates a fund with Securitize, a big player in the real world asset tokenization. Larry Fink understands this, right? He knows that the future of these markets is the tokenization. Ripple partners Axelar to boost real world asset tokenization on the XRP Ledger. Ripple understands this too, right? And then Axelar, internet scale interoperability. Axelar is a programmable Web3 interoperability platform scaling the next generation of internet applications into the billions of users. And then of course you have Medico, right? Medico put this paper out. I'm just gonna, right here, they said it's gonna, by 2030, it could be a $20 trillion market. I personally believe by 2030, which is another 5 years, right? 5 years and 8 months, that this will be maybe a 50 or $100 trillion market, right? Because once you start tokenizing these assets, you're going to want to tokenize all of it, right? They're going to start really slow. And that's what they're doing now. They're doing tokenized bonds, tokenized securities, right? Stocks, right? Tokenized derivatives. They're going to dip their toes in. And once that they see that the system is working and they can scale it, they're going to send it. Okay, and this is really the future of all markets. All of the value in the world eventually will be tokenized. There's going to be some value probably that won't, but the serious money, right? Digitizing bank deposits. That's trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, right? The X markets, right? Foreign exchange market is $7.5 trillion a day. And that is going up, right? So you start doing all of these transactions, all of this volume, all of this liquidity, and that is where we become rich overnight. That's what I'm hoping happens, okay? And all of my research has really backed up the point that this is happening, and I'm picking the best assets that I think that this will all be built around. Okay. And this is why Ripple partnered with Medico. All right. They talk about 100 employees, 20 plus jurisdictions, and 5 continents where we're engaging clients. This is a global solution to digitizing all value and bringing on the ledger. And that is, at the end of the day, that is where me and you become extremely wealthy over the next 5 to 10 years by owning a digital asset like XRP. I hope this was valuable, guys. Please leave a like and a comment on the video. I'd really appreciate it. We're growing the channel because of you. I love you. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Aloha.